for watching the show at any other time. Tomorrow I'll hear from no one. I did hear from one very special friend. Moments after we taped our show last night, the Mad Red Hatter wrote, "I can't believe ABC Fake News gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back." You can't believe they gave me my job back. I can't believe we gave you your job back. Poll from YouGov, which is a serious polling site, or they were before this. I am more popular than the President of the United States.
Picture the scene. Donald Trump, the man who famously celebrated Jimmy Kimmel's brief cancellation, is now hunched over a screen, his face illuminated by the very show he thought was gone for good. He switches on his TV, expecting to see his own name dominating the headlines, only to be met with a stunning reality. Jimmy Kimmel is not just back, he's more popular than ever. And he's using that platform to launch a full-scale comedic assault on the one thing Trump values more than anything, his popularity. In a video that's been setting the internet ablaze for the past 2 hours, Kimmel didn't just return fire, he launched a tactical nuke. He went full throttle, openly boasting about being more popular than the attention-obsessed former president. Can you imagine the sheer unadulterated rage? The man who needs the world's gaze like he needs oxygen, being told by a late-night host, a comedian he'd written off as canceled, that he's been officially dethroned in the public eye. But of course that wasn't all. Kimmel never stops at the surface. This wasn't just a ratings burn, it was a character assassination. He peeled back the layers, exposing the desperate, fragile ego behind the bluster. He turned Trump's greatest insecurity, his insatiable craving for approval, into the punchline of the night. While Trump was trying to command attention, Kimmel proved he had already won it. But that won all.
The guy who keeps saying I have no ratings, well, that makes 2 of us. They polled more than 1,000 people, and I lead Trump by 16 points. I'm at +3, he's at -13. It's nice, but it feels like, considering the fact that I'm not a convicted felon friend of Jeffrey Epstein, and I've never paid off a porn star or sent a team of masked goons into a park to pull an old lady away from her grandchildren, I feel like my rating should be higher, maybe, than... At this point, finding a toenail in your salad has a 7-point lead over Donald Trump. And I hope he doesn't see this. I hate to, I don't like to upset him, but I think he might be upset.
The math alone is enough to send him into a spiral. Jimmy Kimmel's ratings haven't just inched up, they've skyrocketed by 13%. Let that number sink in. Imagine being a president who craves the spotlight like a drug, only to discover you've been definitively outrated by a late-night comedian. Your audience isn't just smaller, it's shrinking while his is exploding. And just when you thought Kimmel was down, he came back with a vengeance. What was he thinking? He was thinking the truth. He was insisting that he should in fact be more popular than a friend of Jeffrey Epstein. More beloved than a man whose policies would deport grandmothers who can't even remember where they came from. That's the genius of Kimmel's takedown. It's a moral calculation disguised as a ratings report. He contrasts his own platform built on laughter with a legacy built on association with predators and the cruel, heartless tearing apart of families. The public isn't just choosing a funnier show, they're making a moral judgment. And then the masterstroke. Kimmel ends with a joke that's really a threat wrapped in a punchline. He says he doesn't want to upset the old man too much because he's afraid the fragile orange skin might just peel right off. It's more than a gag, it's a perfect metaphor. He's pointing directly at the paper-thin manufactured facade, warning that one more good laugh might be all it takes for the whole thing to unravel completely. He's not just winning the ratings war, he's threatening to expose the man behind the curtain for exactly what he is.
It's just sad that the President of the United States has a lower approval rating than Diddy and diarrhea. That's what's sad. If he's looking, and no one cares very deeply about this sort of thing.
The numbers are in, and the verdict is absolutely brutal. We knew the ratings were bad, but this is a whole new level of humiliation. Donald Trump isn't just losing to a late-night comedian. He's being outrated by stories about Diddy and literal diarrhea. Let that sink in. In the battle for America's attention, the former president is currently ranking somewhere between a scandal-plagued music mogul and a stomach virus. And Jimmy Kimmel, he's having the last laugh loudly. He's the king of late night perched atop a throne built from a 13% ratings surge, looking down at the man who lives for applause as he drowns in a sea of public indifference. It's the ultimate cosmic joke. You can bet Melania is watching this from her diamond-encrusted quiet room, sipping her tea and thinking, this is what I signed up for. A man whose cultural relevance is now being measured against digestive distress? You can almost see the cold hard regret in her eyes, the silent scream of a woman who probably wishes her prenup included a clause for immunity from secondhand shame. Kimmel isn't just hosting a show anymore, he's hosting a public reckoning. And while Trump fumes in his gold-plated bunker, the rest of us are laughing along, watching a comedian prove that in the end, the joke is always on the man who took himself too seriously. And then Kimmel said this.
Majority say they want to see the Epstein files. 77% of Americans want the Epstein files released, but 100% of our American president does not want them released. Trump's treating these Epstein files like the grumpy old neighbor on Halloween. He turns off all the lights and just hopes the trick-or-treaters will assume there's nobody home. He's like, do you people not understand what a wonderful secret means?
If you're enjoying the content so far, please do not forget to subscribe and give this video a like. You see, Jimmy Kimmel then took things to a whole new level. Watch this.
Yeah. They rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance of getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who've asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
She was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I have to ask DOJ.
Oh, yeah. Ask DOJ and get back to us, please. We'd love to. He calls him Puff Daddy. That's relevant. The notorious PIG is busy with all manner of distractions right now. He rallied the troops in Norfolk over the weekend at an event to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Navy. He treated the crowd to his signature dance and to his still inexplicable theme song.
Evan, you've just put your finger on the exact raw nerve. This is the real reason Donald Trump despises Jimmy Kimmel. It isn't just the jokes, it's the dissection. Kimmel operates like a master surgeon with a joke book, and his favorite patient is Trump's ego. He doesn't just mock him, he takes every absurd statement, every inflated claim, and he holds it up to the light of day where it instantly withers. Take the greatest hits of Trump's delusion. Imagine a man who claims he warned us about Osama bin Laden in a book, but can't remember the name of the book he supposedly wrote it in. As Kimmel so perfectly pointed out, not even a 5-year-old would try that excuse. Sorry teacher, I did my homework, I just forgot which notebook I used. It's laughable. And let's be honest, everyone with a newspaper in 1998 knew bin Laden was a dangerous man. Trump's claim isn't a forgotten title, it's a fabricated legacy, and Kimmel is the fact-checker with a studio audience. And that is Kimmel's genius. He doesn't swing wildly, he's a precision bomber. He knows exactly where to hit to make the whole bloated facade rupture. He knows which lies are the most fragile, which boasts are the most hollow. He finds the pressure points of Trump's insecurity, his intelligence, his credibility, his self-proclaimed genius, and he applies the truth. The result? We all get to hear the squeal. Kimmel isn't just telling jokes, he's performing a public service, proving that in the face of overwhelming nonsense, the most powerful weapon is a comedian who isn't afraid to point and laugh.
Threatening NBC because he doesn't like what Al Sharpton has to say about him on MSNBC. He wrote, "This is just one of the many reasons that the Federal Communications Commission should look into the license of NBC, which shows almost exclusively positive Democrat content. Likewise, ABC fake news about the same thing, 97% negative to Republicans." And then he posted this photo of Al Sharpton looking cool as hell, by the way. I mean, I think this was supposed to embarrass Al Sharpton. To me, it looks like Al's putting his pants back on after having sex with all the women in the church choir. But Trump is also, you will be tickled to hear, complaining that Fox News doesn't support him enough. After a full decade of whispering sweet nothings into his testicles, this is the thanks they get.
Trump has recently threatened NBC, and this goes against the Fifth Amendment, which is freedom of speech. You're probably wondering, why would he do that? Well, Jimmy said this news network never says good thing about him, but if think that's crazy, he even accused Fox of doing nothing for him. Well, you heard that right, Fox News. Whoever thought Trump would go against Fox? It is true that Donald Trump has recently threatened NBC's broadcasting license, and you've correctly identified the central conflict. This kind of governmental threat against a news organization for its coverage is widely seen as a violation of the spirit of the First Amendment. His frustration is even extended to Fox News, a network typically seen as his ally. 97% bad stories and a pattern of behavior. Trump has long claimed that networks like NBC and ABC give him overwhelmingly negative coverage. A 2017 Pew Research study found that 62% of news coverage in the first 3 months of his administration was negative. Legal experts argue that using the threat of government regulatory action, like revoking licenses, in response to critical speech crosses a constitutional line, moving from permissible criticism to unlawful coercion, demanding loyalty, not just coverage. His anger toward Fox News highlights that his demand for favorable treatment extends even to traditional allies. His outburst against the network for interviewing a Democratic senator shows he expects unwavering support and views any deviation as disloyalty. This is part of a broader pattern where he has targeted critics across the media landscape. It's important to note that while Trump has frequently made these threats, no network has had its broadcast license revoked as a result. The greater concern among media experts is that large corporate media owners may capitulate to this pressure to protect their business interests rather than standing up for their constitutional rights. You thought Trump's administration lost it? Just listen to this.
Department is talking about putting Trump on money now. This is the coin they are proposing to mint. Tails says fight, fight, fight. This is heads, in God we trust. Although I think it's missing a question mark. It should be in God we trust.
Jimmy Kimmel went on a full marathon roasting Trump. Imagine the Justice Department is thinking of putting Trump on money. Well, maybe his best friend, who they sell secrets, should be on the other half. Meanwhile, in another video uploaded 5 days ago, Jimmy Kimmel makes fun of Trump post racist AI video. Government officially shuts down
Workers, Trump really is running the country like it's one of his businesses. He said he would. Just to give you some perspective, the government being shut down is even worse than when it's up and running. Republicans would like you to believe that Democrats shut the government down, but the bill they wanted the Democrats to sign would knock out about 15 million Americans from health insurance. If this bill passes, your health insurance premiums could go up 75%, so there was no way the Democrats could vote for it. It's like like going to dinner and the waiter says, you must order lasagna. The chef made it today. And a bunch of you are going to get food poisoning from it. But if you don't eat it, you've ruined the meal. Meanwhile, while the president is joking his chicken, the gang at Fox is focused on the issues that really matter.
Next, Barron Trump brought a girl home. He brought her back to Trump Tower. He shut the whole floor down at Trump Tower just so he could be alone. One of his classmates said this: he's tall and awkward, but he was the thing, the guy. He had a lot of girls running after him.
Man, this guy's got game. I mean, 6'7", and he's got a whole floor at Trump Tower for a freaking date. I hope something good came out of that date.
Just your everyday TV journalist on the Fair and Balanced News Channel, rooting hard for the president's teenage son to get some. Totally normal.
The spotlight has swung onto the most private figure in the Trump universe, his teenage son, Barron. And the reason? A Fox News commentator decided it was breaking news that Barron brought a girl back to Trump Tower. Let that sink in for a moment. In the middle of a government shutdown with the world on fire, this is what passes for political commentary. Grown adults with microphones and platforms are essentially gossiping about a teenager's social life. And Jimmy Kimmel, as he so often does, was there to call out the sheer absurdity and creepiness of it all. He didn't just mock the story, he exposed the pathetic nature of it. He pointed out the glaring insanity of these adult commentators crafting a whole journalistic segment, breathlessly analyzing the movements of a minor and trying to make it seem normal. It's not normal. It's invasive, it's weird, and it's a new low. Kimmel's punchline was simple, direct, and absolutely correct. Let the boy be. In that one line, he exposed the entire rotten ecosystem. While they're trying to drag a kid into the political mud, Kimmel is the one voice of reason, pointing out how morally bankrupt the whole operation has become. It's more than a joke, it's a public shaming. And for a family that thrives on attention, the one thing they can't handle is being told that some things, especially a child's privacy, are simply off limits.
How many of my friends are never watching the show at any other time? Tomorrow I'll hear from no one. I did hear from one very special friend. Moments after we taped our show last night, the Mad Red Hatter wrote, "I can't believe ABC Fake News gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back." You can't believe they gave me my job back. I can't believe we gave you your job back.
Of course he lost it. The social media tantrum has been launched. Donald Trump just can't seem to grasp the simple, beautiful fact that Jimmy Kimmel is back on air and his ratings are anything but low. In a post dripping with disbelief, Trump fumed that he can't believe ABC gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. Well, someone needs to check the facts and the ratings, because while Trump's one and only best friend, the Red MAGA minion, thought Kimmel was gone for good, the joke was on them. As Kimmel himself pointed out with that trademark smirk, there's a world of difference between a temporary suspension and losing your job for 4 years after a national election. Let's be clear, Jimmy Kimmel earned his job back. He deserved it because he's talented, relevant, and frankly necessary. The same cannot be said for a certain former president who still thinks the White House is a family business he can reclaim by force. The contrast is both hilarious and telling. The audience was in tears of laughter, watching Kimmel lay out this brutal truth. He didn't just get his job back, he returned to stage a full-scale comedic victory over the man who thought he could cancel him. It's the ultimate proof that in the battle between fragile ego and genuine talent, talent and truth always gets the last laugh. Welcome back. So as I was saying before, if you're just joining us, we're preempting your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a special report. I'm back. Thank you, it's good to be here. I want to thank everyone who reached out over the last week. From my fellow late-night hosts to my first boss in radio, a guy named Larry, and even some people I never thought I'd hear from, like Ben Shapiro and Ted Cruz. That's right, Ted Cruz actually defended my right to free speech. I don't think I've ever said this before, but Ted Cruz is right. He's absolutely right. This affects all of us. I mean, think about it. If Ted Cruz can't speak freely, then he can't cast spells on the Smurfs. Now I know a certain someone was very excited that I was off the air. The former president himself. He's been talking about my show a lot. He said I have no talent, and more importantly, no ratings. Well, I do tonight. You almost have to feel sorry for him. He tried his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. Let's be clear about what happened. A government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is not just a violation of the First Amendment, it's anti-American. The chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr, told ABC, and I quote, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way," which in addition to being a direct violation of the Constitution, is not a particularly intelligent threat to make in public. Even Ted Cruz said he sounded like a mafioso. But you know, while all this was happening, the president was busy with his big beautiful bill. One big beautiful bill. One big beautiful bill. One big beautiful bill. Big beautiful bill. Sounds like a guy who wrestles in a leopard print leotard on the independent circuit, doesn't it? And then there was his 2-hour call with his sugar daddy, Vladimir Putin. He claims they agreed to a ceasefire, and I totally believe that he believes that. You know how you can tell he was never going to end the war on day one? When he said, "I will end the war on day one." All he cares about is this war stopping so he can get back to his own war against Beyoncé and Bruce Springsteen. In other presidential news, he's now programming the Kennedy Center, and has vowed to put an end to anything that might not be appealing to a mean old white man. They had dance parties for, quote, queer and trans youth, and they had a lesbian-only Shakespeare. Who thinks of these things? I would go to lesbian-only Shakespeare. I don't know about you, sounds better than the regular to me. So to sum up, he tried to get me fired, he failed, and now more people are watching. He's pushing a bill that helps his rich friends, he's taking advice from Vladimir Putin, and he's trying to cancel the arts. Meanwhile, I'm just here, telling jokes, and as long as we live in a country that allows me to do that, I'm going to keep doing it. We've got a great show for you tonight, thank you for watching.